feeling a bit gainer. Came out for milk, got caught in a terrible blooming hailstorm. Bloody brilliant. Well, it's Saturday morning and I'm going to do some dyeing when I get back. I just want to say hello. I've just finished photographing the yarn that I dyed today for the Derbyshire Dyers Market Night tomorrow night. The theme was Springtime Travels. And I dyed 3. This one and this one are both on silver sparkle base, sock base. And this is the classic sparkle base, classic sock base, no sparkle. So these colours are, the theme was Springtime Travel. And these colours are called Sparkling Coral Reef. Now, I've never seen the coral reef, but I have watched a lot of Octonauts, and I think that makes me an aficionado. No, only joking. But these are the kinds of colours that I imagine I would see. So just a blue and white base with lots of speckles of greens, oranges and magenta. I'm really rather keen on that one. And this one, this is the classic sock, and this one is called Sangria, and it's very sangria colours, oranges and goldens with this lovely wine red over the top of it. I think that will make gorgeous socks or shawl or, well, anything really. And then this one is a very subtle one. It's called Come Fly With Me. And it's actually got a lot of colours in there. This isn't the best light because I'm, as usual, working with artificial light. You can see there are corals and blues, pale yellows, and then grey. And the idea is that it's the sort of colours you see when you're above the clouds in the sky looking down onto the clouds in an aeroplane. I thought that was very travel appropriate. So I've just photographed them, so I'm going to edit my photos in a sec and get them listed for the market night tomorrow. This week I have been mostly working on my Battenberg blanket. And it's more than doubled in size since the beginning of the week when I first started putting some more squares into it, so I'm rather pleased with its progress. All of the colour squares, well, most of the colour squares that are in here, I had already made. I've made a few of them since, because a few of these yarns are ones that I've had from my advent calendars, but most of them had already been done well before Christmas. I'm just trying to remember when. Oh, it's late. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. But I've done most of the joining, sort of grey, jewel coloured squares in between, which I'm loving with the new settees. It's going to look really nice on here one day when it's done. So yes, that's the progress I've made on that. And then over there you can see I've got a little stack of squares ready to go in over there as well. I've just been working on a few more of those today. I always like to have a few more than I actually need because then I can play with the colour a little bit more. I'm really enjoying this. So this is the front, and then on the back you have all the joining seams. You can hear our bonkers neighbours next door making ridiculous noises. Never mind. Hopefully you can't hear them actually. That would be much preferable. I'm working with a Fleabub's crochet hook. Oh, look at the sparkle. It's got rainbow spots on it, and it is a, yes, it's a 3mm, but I don't think you're going to be able to see that in this light. No, I don't think so, but trust me, it is a 3mm. That's really nice to work with. I haven't had a chance to show you yet because I put them in my box of gifts and I keep forgetting to fetch them out. again, but I finished my dad's socks for his birthday. They were the Robin yarn from West Yorkshire Spinners, and since finishing that, I have cast on my lovely socks from this yarn is some from a lovely Kitty Scrapper on Instagram. God, I can't speak, you can tell how tired I am. Yes, so she sent me the leftovers from her socks that she made with this gorgeous yarn that she got from Suffolk Socks, and it's called Espadrille. I do know who the dyer is, but I've forgotten because my brain is naff. And then also this is West Yorkshire Spinners Signature 4-ply, which I like to use wherever possible for my heels, toes, I was about to say in cuffs, but I don't really do contrasting cuffs anymore. But I find this really hard wearing, and so I like to use that for the most heavily worn bits of the sock. So I'm really enjoying this. You can see it's got a sort of a subtle spiralling pattern, and I'm actually knitting a pattern that I test knitted for Hannah Woodhead from Yarnia Designs, and it's called the In Bloom sock. So it's got this lovely lace design which you can't actually see very well in this light. Ah, there you go, that's better. Really pretty lace detail. And then you can see here where there's this loose stitch there on the back is the heel line, but it's just there. But I've not used a very high contrasting colour, so I can see it fine, but you might not be able to. Oh, I think you can see it okay. So I've done the foot and I'm this far up the leg now, from there to there. So I think I'm going to work on this tonight. This sock is so flipping soft, it's incredible. It's got some cashmere in it, and it's absolutely lovely. And I'm keeping that in my Wizards and Spiders bag. It was made for me by my sister-in-law, who's Craftmonger Law on Instagram and Etsy. And there's a matching needle cozy. I absolutely adore these Wizards. They're so cute. So I split the remainder of the yarn. Oops, something's going awry in the kitchen. I split the remainder of the yarn into 2 balls so that and I've worked toe up, which is counterintuitive. I almost always work top down. Now the pattern for the In Bloom socks has a different lace pattern that goes up the middle of the back of the leg, but I'm not putting that one on in these. I'm just sticking with this nice detail, and when I finish this one I'll be able to put it on, because when you open the fabric up you can see the design a lot better. It really pulls it open and it looks very pretty. So there you go, that's my recent work. Good morning, lovely friends. It's a bit of a dreary old day again here. Slightly flat hair issues going on. But I thought I'd just pop in and show you that I picked up a couple of bits this morning. A bit warm actually. I nipped to, we've got a little business estate where we've got a Home Bargains, TK Maxx and a Range all on the same place. I was watching Ollie and Bella the other day, and she'd got some lovely bits from the Range for Easter time. And I also needed 1 or 2 housewarey bits, so I nipped there. I had a quick look round, sorry. I'm just eating an almond. Excuse me. So I nipped into those shops, and I thought I bought some pillows, because Mo needed a new pillow on his bed. So that was my primary reason for going, but I also bought a few nice bits. Sorry. And I got some high-tack glue for sticking some pom-pom braid on a lampshade for Ivy as well. But this was from the Range, and this is a rosy garland, which that's 1 thickness of it. There isn't a length on it, so I'm hoping very much that it's going to be long enough to stretch in my front window where I had my evergreen garland at Christmas. I've just had a piece of yarn with loads and loads of Easter decorations on for the last few years, and I want something a bit prettier and a bit more practical to hang there. So that's what the plan is for that, fingers crossed. And I might try and get some ivy garland as well and twine it around to make it a little bit more sturdy and pretty. So that was the first thing I got. That was, I think, quite expensive really. It was $6.99. I don't know, is that expensive or not for what it is? But that was my most expensive purchase. And then in TK Maxx, I bought this tea because it's an English tea shop tea and I really like them. And this is organic ginger peach tea, and I've just realised that it's a black tea infusion, so I'll need to be careful. I thought it was just a herbal one, fruit and one, but it's got black tea. I'm really not tired, honest. I don't know what's the matter with me. Yeah, but that flavour sounded nice, and it was very reasonable for the fact it's got 60 tea bags in it, so hopefully that will last me some time. And I hope I like it as much as I did the Super Berry Cocoa Boost, Chocolate Boost one. That was really tasty. I sort of was looking for that again, but they didn't have any in today. I wish they would have a pot of 60 of them. That would be brilliant. Anyway, I keep my eyes peeled. And the last thing I bought was this gorgeous little egg-shaped bowl. And it just reminds me so much of a mini egg, Cadbury's mini egg. It's lilac. It's slightly blowing out. It's a little bit of a warmer shade than that, and I just thought that would be really nice to put a few really pretty Easter decoration ornament type things in for a mini arrangement. So I was quite pleased with that. I thought I might see more Easter things that really tickled my fancy than I actually did, but some years there's lots and some years there's not so much, and I think I bought quite a bit last year really, so oh my gosh, so sorry. That's no hardship really. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you later. It's Thursday night and I'm about to go to sleep, but I suddenly realised that I haven't yet shown you that I have finished one of my lovely socks. My toe up in bloom socks. This gorgeous buttery soft yarn. So I finished that one yesterday. It's a nice fit, feels lovely, and then started this toe yesterday and I've just finished it. Oh yeah, sorry. And put the first repeat of the colour, the main colour pattern part on. I'm about to go to sleep because I am just jiggered. I've been at work all day and I'm feeling extremely tired. I've just been catching up on vlogs and Gainer's just about to take us and show us what an English post office looks like. So I'm going to finish watching that and then I'm going to get to sleep and I'll see you tomorrow. Hello friends, got an itchy eye, sorry. Just waiting for a police car to go by before I look like I'm on the phone. It's Thursday morning and I'm stuck in traffic. Is it the same where you live? Every February and March we end up absolutely snided with temporary roadworks where they're suddenly trying to spend all of the roadworks budget and get all of the work done within a silly tiny little window of time. Every year they do it. Why don't they just even it out a bit and do some work each month? I don't get it. Anyway, it must be fun for the contractors. Not. I'm just heading down to the parcel office because I've got a parcel to collect and I thought I'll just nip before work, and yeah, I'm not nipping very far at the moment. Anyway, fingers crossed once we get past the roundabout it'll speed up a bit because it usually does. So I'm just popping. I've no idea what this parcel is. I've been racking my brains. I know what I'm expecting, but it said it was too big for the letterbox and the things I've ordered are all small, so I'm a little bit perplexed as to what it is. I'm sure I'll soon be enlightened though. And then I've got to get to work. So another fun day. Oh, bum. The lights turned red. Just for me. Never mind. Right, well, maybe you'll see me back in a bit with a parcel. In very exciting news, I received the first quarter of the Luli Advent mini skein swap this afternoon. I'm very excited about it, and look at this pretty tissue paper. I never seem to see a tissue as pretty as this. I'd have to keep my eye open. So if you don't know about this swap, it's run by Luli, of the Luli, well, it's Lee of the Luli podcast. Itchy nose. And what you do is each quarter of the year you register for the swap, and then she pairs you up with somebody else, and you send 6 10-gram mini skeins to each other, plus a little extra usually. So these are my 6, and these are going to go into my basket. And then Kelly, who is a lovely person who I swapped with, sent me an extra tasty little chunk of yarn. In fact, let's take this off so we can see what we've got. A little peg. Oh no, don't bend. There we go. Right, so there's this really very generous chunk of rainbowy yarn. So pretty, it's like a bow tie. And then there is a mint chocolate coffee. A So Instant tea, peach. Never heard of that one before. And a pucker, lemon, ginger and manuka honey. Oops, sorry. That went a bit wonky, so that was a very nice little treat. If you watched my Vlogmas last December, you'll recognise this basket, which I trimmed up. And it's currently living on the shelves in my little office corner in the craft room. So it can stay up there. And there are my first 6 minis. So exciting. Absolutely love this lovely snowflake. So sparkly. So this evening, after getting the kids to bed and having my tea and things, I've been working on putting the 6 mini skeins together that I'm sending to Kelly. So obviously I wasn't going to show you, just on the off chance that she watches. I'm sure she doesn't, but just in case, I didn't show you what's inside. But these are the little parcels with all the little pretty Christmassy stickers on and things. See, I said to you the other day in my vlog about the Advent mini club, I absolutely love attention to detail and making things pretty. You see, I just love little stickers and pretty bits of twine and nice colours and things like that, so that makes me really happy. Oh, I can't stop yawning. So I need to sort out the little bits and bobs to go with that, but I'll probably do that tomorrow now because I think it's time for me to go to bed. This is what was in the parcel that was too big to fit through my letterbox this morning. It's a glass bottle, it's a big glass bottle, and it's Cuccio cuticle, revitalising cuticle oil, and the smell or whatever is milk and honey. Ooh. I've been giving my fingernails a rest from nail varnish recently. You can see here that I'm having quite a lot of splitting and flaking of the nails. It's a lot better now than it was, and they're feeling a lot stronger. I've been buffing them a little, but you can see also I'm getting lots of peeling around my fingernails. This seems to happen to me seasonally. I don't know why, but I seem to remember that when I used to use cuticle oil regularly some years ago, it really helped. You can see here my index finger and my middle finger are both flaking and peeling, and I have no idea what causes this. And my thumb is going as well. So I'm trying to build up some strength in them. So I thought I would give the cuticle oil a go. So I put some on this morning, and I'm going to do a bit more tonight and see if it can help me to improve the condition of my fingers and nails. Look at the size of this lemon scented geranium. It grows like a weed. It's not looking very happy at the moment. It really could do with potting on, but about 4 or 5 times a year I have to cut an absolutely massive chunk of this off. It sits in my kitchen window and it just grows and grows and grows. Poor old thing, look. So I'm going to give it a good old trim, and I'm going to give it a drink of baby bio, a feed of baby bio I should say, to try it. Look, see, all the top growth is lovely and healthy, all this new growth on it, but down here, poor old thing, it's really struggling. So I'm going to do that, and I'll show you what it's like when it's back on the windows. I'm very carefully trying to not show you all the recycling here and the other things that are drying, but here's my windowsill. I had a clean up this morning. My spider plant, I gave that a little bit of a trimming as well, and it needs, I haven't fed it because it I've run out of feed, so I'm going to get some when I go to the to Wilko's on Tuesday. This is what it looked like at the back, so it actually had a lot more healthy growth because that was facing the window before, so I've turned it round. But it was actually, before I clipped it, way up there past the top of the sucker that star is attached to, so nearly the whole window. And I can't remember, I think it was Gaynor who was talking the other day on Tales from Cuckoo Land about the ends of her spider plant leaves going brown and crisp, and mine do it too. And this is quite a healthy plant. It's got some new growth coming on it, and it flowered last summer. This is one that Cosmo grew me from a tiny little baby at school 2 years ago. So I don't know. I'm going to do some research and find out what causes this browning of the tips. And then this is an African violet, which I need to pull the dead flowers out of, but it's ever so healthy and happy. There you go, refreshed and revived. I'm making lemon meringue pie from Delia's, what's it called? This one, the Complete Illustrated Cookery Course Classic Edition. I'm doing it with a gluten-free pastry. Now the recipe did not tell me to blind bake the base, it just told me to bake it normally, which I have done. Now what I'm really surprised about is how much this pastry has shrunk, both in height and width, and also it's risen a lot. So I'm going to have to give it a bit of a bosh to create enough space for this for this yellow lemony sauce that goes in the bottom. Oh no. Boo. I'm trying again. Luckily I had enough pastry left, and this time I am blind baking it with foil because I've got no baking parchment left.
That's all I do. Clean. Clean. I'm clean. I'm a cleaner. I like to clean. Ooh, that looks nice. Got to get the towel. Got to be squeaky clean.
Well, that one worked. It's just a normal chocolate cake, but it's gluten-free, and I'm experimenting. I added an extra egg and a little bit of milk to see if I can get a moister cake. Just realised I didn't show you the finished articles. So here's the chocolate cake. Ivy melted some milk chocolate for me, and we smothered the top. I just cut a little bit off the top first because it was a little bit mounded and all of the chocolate would have run over the sides. Then we just got some sprinkles on to make it pretty. And then here's the lemon meringue. I would rather have had more meringue on top, if I'm being honest. But I've baked it quite lightly. So tomorrow, when we start to have tea, I will pop it back in the oven for just a little while. And the pastry being blind baked, it did shrink away a little bit, but it's a lot better. And I also left it long over the sides, and I can trim that to stop it from shrinking in too much, which really worked. And then Ivy and I have made the lasagna al forno from the same Delia Smith Complete Cookery Course book. I very often just make lasagna and things like that from my head, but sometimes I think you forget about the fundamentals of stuff like that, so I thought I'd try that out from the recipe this time. And oh goodness me, they're watching Crackerjack in the front room and they've got fits of the giggles. So that's going to get covered up with foil and go in the fridge once it's properly cool. For now, just to keep the cat away, I'll put the chopping board on top. Until that's properly cool, and then it can go in the fridge until we get back tomorrow afternoon and cook it.